They get through the ice. They break open this big hole. Who will go in? The boy stands up. I'll go. Quietly. He gets to the edge of the hole. Takes off all of his clothes. Grabs a chain, ties it around his waist. Without hesitation, slips right to the water. Slips in. He starts swimming. He knows where the car is. He just knows. Pitch black, dark. He knows, he feels it. As he swims, it's this giant bubble of heat around him. He knows it's there. It's this bubble that's getting smaller and smaller and smaller as the cold hand of the lake is clutching around him. Smaller and smaller the bubble's getting. Finally, grabs him by the bones inside his meat. Pulls him like a puppet on a string. Pay attention. At this moment, it's very important. In this moment, the boy knows he can turn back and forever he's going to know he turned back. Forever from this moment, he'll know he turned back and gave up. Or he can go forward and die for sure. And this split second lasts forever in his mind. In this small forever, he decides to go forward and die for sure. He smiles. Keeps swimming stronger and stronger, swimming. Pulling the chain behind him. He finds the car. He wraps the chain around the axle once, twice, 3 times, hooks together, starts swimming to the hole. In the last few meters, his movements aren't right. His elbows bow in, his knees bow out. He somehow floats to the top hole and they drag him out. He's convulsing, bleeding from his fingernails, bleeding from his gums, bleeding from everything that'll bleed. The men scream hurrah and drag him to the fires they've got built to get him warm. Cover him up with blankets as best they can. Start pulling on the chains, breaking through the ice, pulling on the chains, breaking through the ice. As the boy sits by the fire, vomiting, bleeding. Tears are coming from his eyes. Just because they're falling out of his eyes, they can't stay in there anymore. And all the men are gathered around, holding on to him as tight as they possibly can. The car comes up out of the water. They scream hurrah, they dance, they laugh. The storm of this men, they won. The boy whimpers, let's bring it home. They tie the car up nice and neat to a couple of horses, put the boy in his car, drag him home in his car. They get there, his mother is screaming, she's ready to tear him apart, and she sees him, her heart breaks open, grabs him, cries, kisses him all over his face. They bring him into the house. Over the weeks that follow, he's sick, she's taking care of him. He starts talking to her. Somehow, in that cold frozen lake, fighting in that special moment, something in the boy that was like this hunched, closed in. This thing on top of his heart is broken open. It broke open, and now he's talking to his mother as she feeds him, laughing. Contact. He's making contact with his mom. First time in his life. As he gets better, he starts working on the car. And by that spring, the car is working. He's driving around town in the village. It's a pretty girl sitting next to him in the car as he's driving. People call out, "Brandon! Hey, there's Brandon!" There's Brandon with that pretty girl from his class. People laugh, people smile. He smiles. He laughs. One hand on the wheel, one hand holding her hand. Contact. Again. He got his name back. His name's Brandon. And he's part of the world again. That's it. But